Hey everybody, Christopher here, your real estate tech genius. Thanks so much for attending another episode of the Index Real Estate Tech Geniuses monthly webinar series where we coach buyers, sellers, and agents on using cloud services, social media, and mobile apps for your next real estate transaction. And this month, the month of October, is where we're discussing how to prevent the real estate lull during the slow months that we have during this time, because the holiday season is coming up and people are predominantly focusing on that, and they also have a lot of time off, I guess, to go make purchases. So so today I'm here at ERA, Morris and Raper Real Estate Consultants, my brokerage company, and so today I have Stephanie here with us, who manages the office here at ERA, Morris and Raper Real Estate Consultants. The discussion that we're talking about today, which is the real estate lull, and like for me, I know that for me in 2010, 2011 up until now, that rental business was really booming. Like last year, that was the majority of the people that I serviced were renters, and it was like stacking up pretty well.
It is. I mean, it was just, you know, and after a few years, I ended up, my dad wanted to retire, so when, after, I had bought the business years before, so it was, I had brought on one of my really good friends as my broker at that time and as my partner. So we partnered up together, and of course we grew it even bigger than it was then. And then it was, golly, 2-3 years ago, he looked at me and he said, let's just send out an email to all of our tenants and our owners. Do you want to sell the home? Do you want to buy the home that you're in? Do you have any other homes for us to sell? And we said, okay, we'll send out this email weekly. This would be great to send out weekly. We sent it out one time, and we were flooded. And I remember going back to my assistant, and I said, don't send that out again. We can't handle what we got now. The owners and the tenants, I want to buy, I want to sell, I want to buy. It was just, we were completely flooded. I mean, and then it was, okay, we may end up selling our whole entire inventory here, and it was kind of then a scary side of it, but it was so exciting at the same time.
And I think that is so great to be able to have that wherewithal to do that when it was a very down market. At that time, 2 or 3 years ago, we were still, suffering, and inventory was pretty low at that time. Or it was starting to get low at that time.
Exactly, it was. And so for the ones that wanted to sell, it sold fast. Be very careful about what I said to tenants. Your house, yes, may sell within the next 2 weeks.
Put a positive spin on it. Yeah.
And let's get you into something else. Are you ready to buy? Well, I didn't think I was, but let's try. Well, then 99% of the time, we would do 2 at one time. We would end up selling them a home. So, it all worked out for the good. But over the years, it was just my personal life was moving into a different direction, and I had moved to Alpharetta versus Gainesville. I ended up selling that business as of July the 3rd and came to work here at ERA to bring in their agents. But of course, I love that. That's what I've done for years, is bringing in agents. And that's mainly all my focus is now, so I just don't have the headache of the property management side of it. So it's worked out really good. So yes, you could. And there's so many different sites out there for your virtual assistants.
Yeah.
There's and I think, does Fiverr also do it to where you can basically bid on what you're going to pay for them?
It's just $5.
Really, there is sites out there you can bid depending on how much work you have for them. And you want to tell them that you're going to pay them this, and it's kind of like a little, but it's really interesting.
Yeah.
So if you've got a bigger project that does require, a little bit more pay, it's great.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, so for cheap nowadays, you can be able to get that help that you need, and which for me as an agent back in 2008 when I first got started, the biggest thing that intimidated me was, what do I do if I get a phone call, or how do I keep track of these people?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, well, let me ask you this other question. In 2014, like, what kind of trends did you see that popped up? And then what do you see going into 2015?
The trends of the 2014, not just as much technology, but it is. I saw so many more agents getting into the technology. The older agents getting a pad, and learning, okay, that this is the way of the life. And this is not just the way of my life, this is the way of my customer's life. And so for me to follow through with my customers and my clients, I kind of need to have this too.
Well, thanks everyone. Thank you so much,
Anytime.
Stephanie.
Thank
I
you
really
so much
appreciate
for having
it.
me. Thank you.
And also, everyone, the month of October was Breast Cancer Month, and it has a special meaning to me. So you guys can go to retechgenius.com and go to the blog section, and you'll read a special story about me. And there's also a podcast, so check it out. And there's a link that you could be able to use to go and make a donation. So thank you so much for attending another episode of The Index. Bye.
Thank you.